Well, last night, the Big 12 Board of Directors agreed to proceed with plans for the fall sports seasons. Now, Big 12 members have committed to enhance COVID-19 testing that includes 3 tests per week in high-contact sports like football, volleyball, and soccer. This morning, the Big 12 released its conference schedule for the 2020 season. Baylor will now open the season at home against a yet-to-be-determined opponent on September the 12th. They will have a 2-week break before hosting Kansas in their conference opener on September 26th. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game is tentatively scheduled for December the 12th. Now, each team in the conference will have a minimum of 2 bye dates. If a player does end up testing positive, the return-to-play protocols will include an EKG, a blood test, an echocardiogram, and a cardiac MRI. Now, non-conference football opponents must also adhere to COVID-19 testing protocols that conform to Big 12 standards during the week leading up to competition. Here's what Baylor head football coach Dave Aranda had to say about playing this fall.
I've got a lot of faith in our team, got a lot of faith in our players in terms of doing the right things. I think nowhere at any point in the past is taking care of each other as important as it is now. And so doing the right things.
Fans of college football are a huge part of game day. And so I think we all agree that we're not going to have full stadiums. You think about the challenges of disinfecting a weight room or a training room or a locker room. You can imagine the challenges of disinfecting an entire stadium and then socially distancing.
Over to high school, where after 29 years, there's a new sheriff in Crawford. Greg Jacobs takes over for Delbert Kelm, who retired this past January. Now, Jacobs is no stranger to Crawford, as he was their offensive line coach. Last year, the Pirates went 9-4 overall, reaching the Class 2A Division I regional semifinals. They bring back a good amount of experience, starting with all-district quarterback Tanner Miranda, who passed for 826 yards and 10 touchdowns. Now, Miranda is also picked as the district preseason defensive player of the year at linebacker. Running back Breck Chambers was named Offensive Newcomer of the Year as a freshman after rushing for 886 yards and 8 touchdowns. The player spoke about how to build off last year's success and take it a step further.
I mean, a lot of the younger guys are going to have to step up big time, fill some big roles. Receivers are going to have to do their best. We lost a really good one last year. Defense is going to have to step up. We're going to have to get a lot of depth, especially in the defensive line, linebackers, secondary, and the O-line. Offensive-wise, we just got to do better than we did last year.
Last year we lost Tate Abel. He was a big key role as a wideout, but we have some sophomores stepping up. We have some juniors stepping up. We have one senior that hopefully will fill his shoes.
Over in Moody, where Lonnie Judd takes over for Jason Hill, who resigned last December. Now, Judd is no stranger to Central Texas. He's a Midway graduate and worked at Riker and then Midway before heading to Keller Timber Creek High School. The Bearcats last season went 3-7. Quarterback Ryder Hohartz returns after being named District Newcomer of the Year as a freshman. Now, the Bearcats are projected to finish 6th in a district that features 3 teams ranked in the top 25. Coach Judd spoke about how valuable his senior class is going to be towards their success this season.
You know, we've got a really good offensive line this year, really big group with a good young quarterback. Ryder Hohartz was the newcomer of the year as a freshman last year at quarterback, and he's back. Got some really good linemen, offensive and defensive. I think it's just a good senior group, and we're excited about it.
It's been a little tough. We got a little senior class this year, but we know what we got to do in order to keep this team in check.
Our run game's real solid. We have a good old line still. A lot of us are still here from last year, so it's a really good running game.
Well, former Baylor Lady Bear Juicy Landrum announced on her Facebook page that she has signed with the Washington Mystics for the rest of the WNBA season. A few months ago, Landrum was a 3rd-round pick in this year's WNBA draft, but was waived by the Connecticut Sun. She ended up signing to play professionally in Poland, but now she's back to try to help out a Mystic squad who's currently 8th out of 12 teams. And that's a look at sports. We'll be right back after the break.